Side across from angle R. Yes, so RST. Instead of calling it side ST, now we call it R. So side R is 11. Side S is 12. Angle T is $1.20. And it's asking you for side T. Side across from angle T. All right, please don't write this down. I want to show you why law of sines is no good. Well, first, can we talk why anything else is no good? It's not what type of triangle? All right, so Hills and Sass, 3060, SOHCAHTOA, not good enough because it's not a right triangle. So, hey, doesn't matter. I can use law of sines in any triangle. So I give a side T. What's T across from?
120.
So I put sine 120. And now it's pick your poison. I do 11. Anybody going to have problems putting it over something? Right? Everyone see my problem? And there's no way to find that angle either. There's no magic way to find that. Even if I put 12 here, don't I run into the same problem? So does everyone see? Law of sines, not going to cut it in this. So now I'm going to introduce the law of cosines. Again, can be used on any type of triangle, right or not right. It's right up here for you. I wrote it out a little bigger here. I got to make this point right away. Everyone see A, B, and C up there? That does not mean side A, side B, and side C. Look at the problem we're doing. That wouldn't make any sense because what are we calling our triangle here? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. So don't think A means A, B means B, C means C. No! Here you go. What are you going to plug in for A? You're going to plug in the side across from the given angle. That's what A means in the law of cosines. You're going to plug in the side length across from the given angle. And we'll do this for problem number 1 in a second. All right? So that's what goes in for A. It's not side A. You don't even have a side A in number 1. All right? It's the side across from the given angle. How many sides in every triangle? 3. Oh, you guys are good. Haven't missed a beat. That's what B and C are. Those are the other 2 sides. You've already plugged in a side over here for A. Whatever the other 2 sides are, that's B and C. So other 2 sides. Minus 2BC, B and C. Same B and C here. They all mean the same. B and C, same sides. Only other thing, cosine of angle A, well, that's going to be the given angle, whatever angle we're talking about. So the side across should be on the left side. The angle itself should be on the right side. All right, law of cosines. Any questions before we use it on problem number 1? Because we don't have enough information for a law of sines, we found out. All right, so let me go back to problem number 1 now. How do I start this off with? Do I start it off with the 11, the T, or the 12? What angle did I give you in this problem? What angle do you already... Whoa, no. Whoa! You know what? Can I do this? How long can this happen? Till I actually get one. I'm just going to keep grinding. Come on. You got it for me. Come on. 19! Yes! Here we go. Who's got 19? Ellie, the odds right there, right, of that coming up. All right. Going back. Ellie, what angle do you know in the problem?
Angle T.
Which is how many degrees? Look across from it, Ellie, and what side do you have?
Side T.
There you go. T squared. Everyone okay on why I'm starting off with T squared versus 11 or 12 squared? It's the side across from the angle. Equals your other 2 sides squared. 11 plus 12 squared. B squared plus C squared. The order doesn't matter. Minus 2 B and C. Same B and C's I plugged in here, except I don't square them. 11 times 12. And now the finisher, the cosine of the angle we're talking about. Ellie, one more time. What's the angle? 120. Cosine 120. I would love it if you would please type this all in one line in your calculator instead of it doing piece by piece. All right. That is where I see students make errors is they try to do the 11 plus 12 squared, enter. Minus 2 times 11 times 12, enter. No, do it all in one line. Do it all in one line. Get a nice whole number there. 397. That's not the side length, right? That's silly. That's not a side. That wouldn't even be a triangle. 397. I have to do what on both sides before I actually find the side length? 26. I'm going to start this again. 26. 16. Nobody has 16, huh? Or 26. 25.
Square root.
Just take the square root of both sides. Good. Take the square root of both sides. What happened there? How'd I go full screen?
F11.
What's up?
Hit F11.
F11. There we go. Thanks, Kyle. You're good for something. Thank you. Just joking. Take the square root of both sides. There we go. Integer, nearest integer. That side's going to be about 20, and that makes sense. Why does it make sense? Is there going to be another angle bigger than 120 in this diagram? Nope, so it should be across from the biggest side. So about 20. Questions? Because that's not the only thing we're doing today with law of cosines. There's other parts we can solve for. All right, let's go. One doesn't make you great. Let's go triangle ABC now. A is 4, C is 6. Oh, a little bit. I didn't give you angle B. I'm already telling you, hey, this is the cosine of B. And we'll get to that in a second when we set it up. So I'm not giving you what angle B is, but I'm telling you what the cosine of B is already equal to. And we're solving for side B. All right. Your first decision is what goes to the left. Is it going to be 6, 4, or B? What angle do you have information about? 3. What angle do I already have info about? B. Look across from B. What do you have? There you go. I'm going to start this bad boy off with B squared. Don't get used to that either. We could actually plug in a number here. B squared equals other two sides squared. 6 squared plus 4 squared. Any confusion? Well, the formula says A squared equals. That's not how it works. You plug in the side across from the angle. Minus 2 times 6 times 4, and I'm going to stop right there. I am not going to put cosine of 1/16. Everyone's look at the difference between number 1 and number 2. They're all on the same page for you on purpose. I don't put cosine 1/16. Is 1/16 the angle measure for B? No, I'm telling you right now what this value is. It's what? What's cosine B? So I just plug in 1/16. I know what that's equal to. I don't need to go to my calculator and find it out. It's already equal to 1/16. Notice the difference between this one and the one we just did. If I have the angle, then yes, I'll put cosine with it to find the value. But in number 2, hey, I gave it to you. It's 1/16. No need to put a cosine with it. It's not an angle. And then just like we did in the last problem, I prefer you put all this in one line. And then you get a nice looking number there, huh? $100, huh? Is it 100? No. Right. 49. There it is. Look at my own notes. So B is going to be equal to 7. Any issues here before I change it up on you? Because we're not always going to be solving for the left side. There might be something on the right side I'm going to ask you to solve for. Okay, side A is 5, side B is 7, side C is 10. Find cosine of B. What's the cosine of angle B? All right. This won't be a variable on the left side. The variable will be over here on the right side. So what do I plug in on the left? 10, 7, or 5? Huh? 10, 7, or 5? Well, what am I asking for in this problem? What am I asking for? 21?
Cosine B.
Cosine which angle?
B.
What's across from B, Dan?
7.
That's what I'm starting out with. You're going to ask me to find the cosine of B. I'm going to start out with the side across. 7 squared. And then you ready? Let's get rolling. Other two sides. 10 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 10 times 5. And now what am I going to have here? Cosine B. You can put an X there if you want, but I'm just going to keep with the letters. Cosine B. And that now is what I need your highly algebraic skills to solve for. Get this by itself. So I should have cosine B equals this to the left at the end. Ooh, well, that's not something I could just go all in one line, right? That was only when the variable was on the left. All right, can we do our squaring and multiplying and see where we go? All right, and then hopefully your algebra skills take over. 49, right? $100 plus 25 minus, what do you get over here? 2 times 10 times 5.
50.
50 times the 2 again.
Oh, yeah. 100.
And then I have a question for you guys. If I came over to every group right now and wrote this on a sheet of paper, and I asked your group, can you combine all three? Unanimous answer. Can you combine all three of those? Can I combine 100 plus 25 minus 100x? Can you combine all three? No! You tell me no, absolutely. You're embarrassing. So that means you can't combine all three of these. This is your variable right here. It's like an x. So you can't go 100 plus 25 minus 100. But you can combine what? The first 125, but you cannot combine all three. So here's what my next line looks like when I do combine those. 49 equals 125 minus 100 cosine B. I know it's tempting. I know it's tempting to write down 25, right? You can't combine them. We just proved that up here. We cannot combine those. Now I need your algebra help. I need cosine B by itself. So that's got to go get out of here. I need your help. What do you want to move over first, and how do you move it over? All right, I need cosine B by itself. So what would you like to move over first, and how are you going to do it? 24? The 125 needs to get moved. Perfect. How are you going to move it? Subtract it over. Good. So let's get that 125 out of there. What was that? Negative 76? 76? Common mistake. Make sure you don't drop that negative. It's not 100, it's negative 100. Cosine B. Next step, getting cosine B alone. 2. 16. 13.
Divide by negative 100.
Got it. So we all get cosine B is equal to, now look, let's just make a little discussion here. Since it just comes out to be two numbers after the decimal, could you write 0.76? That's fine. I would not want something that goes all the way across your screen. If you can, turn it back into a fraction if it does that. So 0.76 or 19 over 25. Good enough for me. So that's what the cosine of B is equal to. And what did it ask me to solve for?
Mr. Cosines, how you turn it back into a fraction?
Yep. You got a math, you got the decimal already there. You have a math button on your left-hand side. You hit the math button, and the very first choice is try to change it to a fraction. Okay, now look, that won't work on every decimal though, but most decimals it does. All right. Asked us to solve for cosine B. Do we have cosine B? Okay, then that's it. That's what it asked us to solve for. Final problem I do with you now is, how do you actually find the angle? All right, so if I kept going on this problem, how do you find angle B now? We did all this work. How many degrees in angle B? All right, so that's what we're going to work on in this last problem here. How do I actually find an angle using law of cosines? So go ahead, get up triangle, RED. Yep, good job. It spells red. I got spelling bee champs, as I found out on Friday. 5, 5, 8. Find angle E. Angle, I didn't label that right. RE and ED. We got one job. This garbage, get out of here. REED 5, 5, 8. Find angle E. There we go, the vertex angle. All right, how you start law of cosines off now? 8 or one of the 5s? 8 or one of the 5s here. 12, where do you want to start out with?
8.
Darn right, because it's across from angle E. 8 squared equals 5 squared plus 5 squared minus 2 times 5 times 5. Cosine x E. I'll leave it as an E. All right, so give me the cosine E again. All right, give me cosine E, and then we'll talk how do I take that next level step to find angle E. 64, 25, 25. What do you got over here? 50? Remember, you can't combine all three of those. And look, let's say in this problem you totally forget and flake out, and you try to combine all three. You're going to get 0. 0 cosine E. What are you going to do from there? Panic? Cry? Absolutely nothing. All three are correct. All right, you're not going to do anything here. You did something wrong. You can't have 0 cosine E. So we leave it 50 here, minus 50 cosine E. What's your next move? 8. I need to get cosine E alone. Next move.
Subtract 50 from each side.
Yep. This first 50 is gone. $14 equals negative. That's a big thing. Don't drop that negative sign. All right, one more step to get cosine E by itself. 25, what do you got for me?
Divide by -50.
All right. I just talked, if that's a short decimal in your calculator, leave it negative 0.28, I think. All right, you can leave it negative 0.28, or if your calculator can do it and you want to do it, change it back to a fraction. I don't have any preference. I just don't want a long decimal written down. Negative 7/25. All right, I didn't want that though. I want angle E. I don't want to know the cosine of it. I want angle E. We have been doing this all unit. We did it when we did SOHCAHTOA. I got down to sine E or cosine E equals this fraction or decimal. How did we take the next step to actually find the angle? How did we take the next step to find the angle? Yes, I'm showing you the calculator for a reason. What's on here that I need to go to? Inverse. Find an angle, be prepared to do the inverse. So to find angle E, I do the inverse of cosine, -7/25. Okay, if you need to find the angle, find the inverse at the end. Better be a big angle because it's across from the biggest side too. Right? Look at your angle. Should kind of make sense there. That you're probably not going to get another angle bigger than the one you're about to tell me. 12?
106.
What?
106.
106 degrees. Thank you. Before I'm going to let you do this last one in your group. Before I do that, I want to make this important announcement here. When using law of cosines, I will never be in the position to solve for B or C. We won't do that here. Okay? There's only 3 things when you use law of cosine you should solve for. Missing side across from the angle, the cosine of the angle, or the angle. Those are the only 3. If you find yourself solving for B or C, you're not seeing it, or maybe you should have used law of sines instead. Okay, everyone good? You should only be solving for A, cosine of A, or A. All right, you and your group, let's get it going. When you have it, let me see it, and I'll let you go on to the homework.